Good morning, everyone. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET now. I'm Mubina Kapasi. Markets not looking good at all. We are once again in the red. It's the third straight session. And with this fall, the Nifty has slipped below 10,900. But I suppose the key victim today is the Realty Index. In fact, that index has lost almost 7%. This is one of the biggest intraday losses we have seen. So markets certainly not looking good. But here is a big ET Now exclusive. The Papa Bachalo mindset won't work. That's the hard-hitting message from CEA Subramaniam, and that is for India Inc. In a no-holds-barred and exclusive chat with ET Now, he says it's time for India Inc. to stand on its own feet and stop socializing losses. He believes investments, not consumption, will drive an economic rebound. The political slugfest simmers as Congress attacks BJP over Chidambaram's arrest. Karthi too blames BJP for this vendetta politics. Meanwhile, former finance minister will be produced this afternoon before court, and the CBI is going to demand custody. I call it the biggest political arrest in India's history. Former finance minister had been arrested by CBI amid a lot of drama. The senior Congress leader spent the night in the lockup at the CBI headquarters, and now, of course, the CBI is questioning Mr. Chidambaram. He will be produced at court at noon. Abhimanyu Sharma joins us now. He is going to, of course, be on the top of all that transpires in the court. Abhimanyu.
Well, CBI is most likely to seek custody and remand. They earlier too had sought custodial interrogation. They had claimed that Chidambaram was not cooperating during investigation and interrogation, something which was denied by Chidambaram. Also, it's likely that Chidambaram's lawyers are going to seek his bail on the grounds that the case is not strong according to them. They are claiming that there is not a strong case at hand, and this is a politically motivated arrest by the CBI, something which is being denied by CBI as well as ED. Lookout circulars earlier were issued by both the agencies, and the Apex Court had denied an urgent hearing on the anticipatory bail plea filed by P. Chidambaram after the Delhi High Court had denied him any possible relief. All eyes certainly would be on the arguments which possibly would be made by both the agencies, on the basis of which any orders would be passed by the court subsequently.
Okay, well, you can see the visuals on your screens. There was a lot of drama late at night as the CBI made their move to arrest Mr. Chidambaram. Thanks a lot, Abhimanyu, for that. We will, of course, be on top of that story as and when things develop on that front. But back to the markets, and like I said, there seems to be a lot of drama there as well as the Nifty slips below 11,900, and we are in fact at the day's low. The crash continues, 0.9% gone, but I suppose the bigger victims are also the broader markets. The mid and the small cap index are yet again losing in excess of 1% today in trade. It's all about individual movers and shakers, so let's kickstart the show by flagging all of those names out. Today we have with us on the technicals Nagraj Shetty of HDFC Securities and Ashish Kyal of Wave Strategy Advisors. And we are also joined by Varun and Soumya from our research team. Let's kickstart the show with the second biggest sectoral loser today in trade, and that's the metal index. Tata Steel, which continues to fall for the fifth straight day. Remember, these metal counters do tend to depend on a lot of global news flow as well, along with, of course, domestic news flow. And on both cases, it's not looking great. Global news flow with the entire US-China trade war not showing any signs of abating is something that is putting pressure on the metal prices as well. Steel, iron ore prices have been falling. Global majors as well have been flagging off their prices could stay under pressure as demand stays weak. And Tata Steel at 341 is at the lowest level since December 2016. Nagraj, speaking about big losers, ONGC continues to fall today as well in trade. You recommend avoiding this stock right now?
Yes, if you look at the chart, the daily, weekly chart, the ONGC has been in a continuous downtrend over the last many weeks. And even if you count record session count, technically the whole setup is looking weak. And better to avoid this stock now. This stock could come down to 105 levels in the next 1 month.
Okay, so best case right now, according to Nagraj, is avoid ONGC. Soumya, of course, the big news maker of today is DLF, a big crack seen, and it alone, I think, is responsible for the fall in the Realty Index as well.
Yes, this one's definitely coming in trade today after there were reports of SE issuing a notice to the company. Well, these petitions were filed in order that the fact that DLF has suppressed some of the information on pending cases. In fact, we had the management clarifying to ET Now saying that they did receive the SC notice on non-disclosures of information, but they also added that they will be responding to this SC notice suitably. But at the same time, the street is definitely jittery when it comes to such an information, and the stock's definitely tracking in trade today.
Okay, that's a DLF, 16% gone now in trade. Ashish, hi, morning. The Nifty metal, it's been in a weak spot. Many of the stocks as well have completely raised the gains we saw in the last 2 years. I suppose that's the case with the Nifty metal as well. Your recommendation?
Absolutely. Good morning. See, the overall trend for metal index has been negative, not only in India, but globally. If you look at it, metals have been under pressure for quite some time. Trend remains negative because there is an increase in momentum on the downside as of now, and we can expect metal index to reach towards the level of 2127 with 2306 as an important resistance on the upside.
Okay, sell call on Nifty metal from Ashish. Varun, of course, another newsmaker is also CCD. While, of course, it's been in the news and it's been showing a lot of pricing action in the last 1 odd month, this time around, finally, there's some positive news. Coca-Cola is getting serious about its investments in CCD.
Yeah, hi Mubina. So, CCD's been locked in circuit for now the 4th day in a row, and quite a volatile stock. We saw 2 weeks of absolute lower circuits, now 4th straight day of upper circuit. So the market caps fluctuated quite a bit. Coca-Cola is evaluating the deal. ITC had been approached, but they've declined to comment and have said that they really have no interest in CCD as of now. Deleveraging will continue to remain a priority even if they do want to sell the stake off. So, it's a hot stock. We'll keep watching it, see what happens with it in the coming weeks.
Okay, that is certainly the case then with a CCD. It's been locked in lower and upper circuit for the last 1 odd month. But before we proceed any further with the countdown, let's just take a quick look at what the RWI small case is up to at this juncture. And yes, along with the benchmark indices, this one too continues to crack. However, once again, not as bad as what the benchmark indices are doing at 512.6. It's a 0.6% fall on the RWI small case. Okay, let's move on and talk about one stock that's really been resilient and, wading through all the market movement that we have been seeing, and that's HDFC Life. It's the 3rd straight day that we are seeing this stock be really resilient in trade. Of course, it's given up those opening gains, as has the rest of the market done. Well, the market has gone deeper in the red, while HDFC Life too has erased some of those opening gains. Nevertheless, it's a 3rd straight day of gain. HDFC Life and some of these other insurance stocks as well have been doing well, but it's HDFC Life really that's catching our attention at this point. Nagraj can't get a rise of course, the metal stocks. Vedanta now is in fact at 135. It's another 3.5% of a fall. Would you recommend traders, could execute a trade over here?
Yeah, Vedanta technically is looking weak. Consistently, this stock has been in a downtrend over the last many months. The whole intermediate term trend is weak. Whenever this stock witnessed the upside bounce, the immediate selling pressure came in, and this is what exactly is happening over here. This is a good stock. Overall chart pattern is looking weak. One may look to sell this stock, go short in the future, probably September future, and around 135, 138 levels for the target of around 122 in the next 1 month, and probably place a stop loss of 145 levels.
Okay, that's Vedanta for you. It's down by about 3.4%. Soumya, another newsmaker is LIC Housing Finance. What's the big block deal that we are looking out for?
Well, this is definitely, we at ET now have accessed a deal sheet of LIC Housing Finance, a block deal wherein a total stake of 6.7% is expected to change hands, and this is would be at a price which was at a discount of 3 to 8% to yesterday's closing price. But we're also seeing that Goldman Sachs is the sole book runner for the stake sale by institutional shareholders, and this entire deal is expected to is a value at approximately $200 million US dollars. As of now, we're seeing the stock reacting, losing close to about 7.6%.
Okay, we'll just take a quick breather right here on Market Fatafat. But folks, today on our Rise with India Prime Time, the Money Show is going to be talking about the big offers being doled out by banks in order to lure customers. Interest rates have fallen, plus a lot of banks, especially like SBI, are waiving off processing fees. So is this a good time to take a loan and buy your dream house or dream car? That's what we will be discussing. And of course, send in your questions and queries on loans that you may be having on the Money Show at etnow.tv. Further, did you know there's a new Consumer Protection Act that replaces the old one of 1986? Know what it entails, know your rights under the new act. And finally, also, we will be meeting Sundaram Equity Funds Manager, Mr. S. Bharat, to talk about the NFO, that's Sundaram Equity Fund. Know if you or if that is a good investment for you. Welcome back. You are watching Market Fatafat on ET. Now let's continue with the countdown. And of course, the big buzzer has been Yes Bank. Varun, what's the latest now? And is this a fresh trigger for the stock to perhaps see more downside from here?
Slow decay at Yes Bank. So shares have plummeted as much as 50% in the last 3 weeks. Now, the latest piece of news is a pledge that was created last month had to be paid down yesterday by Rana Kapoor and his holdco Morgan Credit Investments. Now, this was to the tune of 790 crores. The pledges, the shares that were pledged were around 7.34% of the bank, worth 1,500 crores. So what happens is when you take on a pledge at a certain price and then you see severe price erosion, the lenders come forth and ask for more collateral, and obviously something that is uncomfortable for promoters. Hence, the pay down yesterday. In my mind, it's hard to tell whether it's a positive or negative impact on the stock. Right now, it seems to be negative, if anything. We'll watch further to see what happens.
You said, it's been a 50% fall, so the trend itself for Yes Bank seems to be in the negative. So regardless of whether it's positive or negative news, the stocks regardless are slumping almost 7%. Ashish, today where we are seeing a bit of green is some of these FMCG names, HUL, Godrej Consumer, ITC, and its close peer VST as well is gaining. Anything that you're observing?
See, ITC is just, I think, moving up a bit because of oversold state, and it is relieving the oversold condition, but the trend remains negative. I think the up move is going to be temporary. We are going to see some base formation before a significant up move can be witnessed. So for time being, I would look forward as a shorting opportunity in the stock, keeping a stop loss of 251.30 and then expecting a target of 232.
Sell call on ITC. Coal India, meantime, that as well is a big loser we want to flag off as it continues to crack for the fourth straight day at 185 rupees. The stock is now, in fact, at the lowest level since March 2014. Remember, the stock has actually almost, not halved actually, but almost come off a good 120 odd rupees just in the last 4 to 5 months. Big loser. PSU and metals, both of which have been showing a trajectory on the lower side. Nagraj, of course, the Realty Index today is a big sectoral loser. Within that space, IB Realty, it's interesting to note you actually have a buy on dips. So what makes you believe that, there could be potential for an uptick from here?
Yeah, the larger time frame chart suggests that it indicates that this whole stock was moving in a larger consolidation pattern. Even though it has made an attempt to move up recently and in previous also was not able to succeed. The whole chart system says that there is a possibility of some decline and decline down to around 60 to 55 levels, where one may expect support to emerge, buying to emerge from those levels. One may look to buy on dips around those 55 to 60 levels and wait for the upside target of around 10% from the dips in the next 1 to 1.5 months.
Okay, that's an interesting strategy from Nagaraj on IB Realty. Varun, India Bulls housing, again from the India Bulls stable, but this entire group has been crumbling like a pack of cards for the last few months.
Yeah, Mubina, as you rightly said, the 4-day fall intensifies today. The stock has fallen by more than 23% in the last 4 weeks. Now, we all know that earlier in the week, Moody's had downgraded the company's rating, but what seems to have happened in the latest developments are the tight funding conditions may persist for some time, longer than what people initially thought. Further pressures also seen on the credit profile, profitability and asset quality could be impacted. Now, we already saw Stage 3 loans grow by 57% in Q1, which is a clear red flag for asset quality. So we'll be watching that closely. And apart from that, the downgrade reflects renewed pressure on the cost and availability of funds, which is another key concern for the company.
Okay, well, fallen more than 20% in the last 4 sessions, and today that is being extended. Ashish, it's interesting to note the intraday chart of Cadila. There's been a very, very sharp recovery as we speak in the stock, causing it to be at the day's high, 0.4% higher after losing more than 2% through the day. Anything that you're observing?
I think Cadila might continue to move in a range, again in a broad range, with 215.60 as the resistance, I would say, on the upside. And on the downside, the support will come around 198, 199 levels. So that can be the broad range in which Cadila can move. Use pullback as a shorting opportunity unless you see a decisive breakout which happens about 220 or 225 levels. So use this pullback as shorting opportunities for now.
All right, that's Cadila for you, 0.3% higher now. Sharp surge seen just in the last couple of minutes. And Samya, NMDC, they've actually cut lump ore and fine prices in light of what we're seeing in global iron ore prices.
Well, that's exactly right. They've cut the prices from 3,100 to 2,900 for lump ore prices, and similarly from 2,860 to 2,660 for iron ore fine prices. Apart from this, the latest development as far as the case is concerned, Donimai plant case is concerned, they've received a temporary relief from the Mines Tribunal, wherein they've stayed the stay order where the state government would not be able to take any further action regarding the mining lease or initiate auction process of the Donimai mine. So this is a temporary leave, where the same kind of stocks clearly right now is reacting to the fall in the iron in their pricing, and that's what we're seeing as far as the latest is concerned.
Okay, 83 rupees right now for NMDC. Nagaraj Ashok Leyland is now sub 65 rupees. This is certainly, again, a multi-year low. What do you recommend traders could do?
Yeah, Ashok Leyland has been in a sharp downtrend in line with this whole Lato pack. And currently the stock has been moving in a consolidation and currently placed at the downside breakout. This is a good interesting pattern to go for a short. I would suggest one to go for a short positions at current market of around 60 to 62 and target would be around 53, and one can place a stop loss around 65 even in the next 1 month.
Call on Ashok Leyland. And Varun, DHFL, we're still waiting on that resolution plan, but in the meantime we constantly keep getting details on the deal semantics.
Mubina, so lenders are on the cusp of apparent concrete resolution for DHFL, maybe a possible oxygen patch for the company. And the Union Bank MD who spoke with us yesterday also confirmed that the committee is on the verge of a resolution. The majority of debt will be paired to equity. Shareholding for lenders could be as high as maybe 51% post the arrangement being worked out. Now, the deal semantics are yet to be worked out. It has some complex contours because RBI is not the only regulator, and the lenders aren't as your typical banks. They are also pension funds and debenture trusts and a variety of other parties. So the inter-party credit agreement has to be watched closely when drawing up any kind of arrangement. And any solution will be temporary and short-term in nature till they find a suitable investor for DHFL.
All right, that's DHFL. It's still down 6.8%. Ashish, Bandhan Bank, look at the bounce seen in the stock today after, well, mostly staying weak for the most part of, the last few weeks. Today, gaining more than 1%. Anything that you're observing?
Mubina, what we are witnessing is, I think, is a temporary bounce back across the stocks. Even Bandhan Bank is showing some kind of a pullback on the upside, but I'm not too optimistic. Given the broader sell-off across the space that we are seeing, I think it is easy to make money on the downside rather than capturing those reversals unless the resistance breaks. Same thing goes with Bandhan Bank. I think we can move towards the lower level of 449 and one can maintain a stop loss of 487 on the upside.
All right. That's a sell call then on a Bandhan Bank. But on that note, we are out of time. So Nagaraj as well as Ashish, thank you for sharing your technical strategies. Varun, Samia to you as well. But before we let you go, folks, we'd once again like to thank all our viewers because it's yet another week that ET Now has emerged as India's #1 business news channel with a share of 49%. So thank you, folks, for tuning into ET Now. And I hope you'll continue to place your trust on the channel.